Absolutely loved these views, these shots we've had out high above the plaza outside the American Airlines Center. It was a party on the plaza before the game tonight, celebrating Festival de los Mavs. Certainly enjoyed that. Had a great start to the game for the Mavericks and some serious highlights as we look at our legacy precious metal moment of the game, Skin.
Yeah, what an effort play by Kyrie Irving. Unbelievable what he had to do to save that ball, because that thing was sailing on him. And Moses comes through, scoops it up, and he's been so good going over that right shoulder. You know, Brian said it earlier. He's shown enough, and, Jason Kidd said it before the game. He's like, hopefully Moses has shown enough here that he's going to get picked up and go do something somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about it. He took advantage of the opportunity given to him, and Kyrie Irving continues to show leadership. I mean, that's just a leadership play. When he's putting his body on the line like that,
yeah,
everybody else is seeing that and going, if he's doing it, I need to do everything it takes defensively and offensively to win this game. That is key right there.
And I love what Kai had to say after the game the other night. He was asked about his journey to becoming such a great teammate. And he talked about how he came in wanting to be a leader on this team, but he certainly never demanded it. He said he wanted to earn it, which is what he has done with the way he has led them in the locker room, with the way he is, sacrificing body parts in the games, with the way he is producing with massive performances like this one in his 30-point game in the last 10. That is the stretch of time we're talking about since the Mavericks, of course, made this trade, completely changed the complexion of this team, and looking to Kyrie Skin to be the guy where it starts, where it ends with him, and the way he's just continued to step up in the face of such adversity, taking on very tough opponents like the Milwaukee Bucks, facing big deficits, but never, ever giving up.
No, he never gives up. And he knows he has to do it. The way that they're built right now, it's going to all go through him. Even shots for other guys, it's going to all go through him. Hopefully, we saw a spark from Jaden Hardy. I mean, they need offensive creation right now, and he's a guy that can do it, Brian. And so there's been like a missing persons report for Jaden Hardy. And if what we saw tonight, which he can do, is going to be a return, Kyrie needs other people stepping up and doing some of that stuff, because right now it feels like if he doesn't do it, it ain't going to get done.
Yeah, and he's shown it both on and off the court. The leadership. Look, Jason Kidd has done a great job, and this team is playing really hard for him, but a lot of times you need players. Players respond to players. And so he's bringing people aside one-on-one or talking them in a group setting to really get them to block out all the noise on the outside and get that bunker mentality and say, we are a team and we are playing hard every night. And they are. They're putting the effort out there every night. This isn't a team that's laying down. And then on the court, as you mentioned, he knows he's getting 2-3 people coming at him all the time. He's got to score not only in the fourth, but in the first, second, and third as well.
Yeah.
And also get others involved.
Think about the way the third quarter started. They desperately needed that spark, because if not, you get buried. And that's what happened. They got buried, and they didn't have enough to come back. And if you're the other team and you're playing the Mavericks and they have a 20-point deficit, you're just going to wear Kyrie out, because it's going to be too difficult to have other ways to do it. And that's, again, I'm not just trying to do a Rick Carlisle, it's a make or miss league. Brian just said it. They have never wavered in how hard they've played once during this stretch. Not once. They've never wavered. The difference is whether or not the ball is going in or not. I know that sounds super basic, but it's the truth. And the situation that they're in right now, the ball has to go in, because there's those other ways that you can make up games. It's going to be too difficult for the Mavericks to do that. Again, that 5-game stretch where they went 4 or 5, they made their threes. They made 42% of them. This stretch since then, they're not going in. A night where the Mavericks go 11 for 40 from 3, there's not enough others. They won the points in the paint battle even tonight, right? But there's not enough other stuff going on. It's too difficult to manufacture that other stuff to overcome what they have to overcome body-wise.
I'd love to think this is the beginning of great things for Jaden Hardy, who hit 4 threes, had 16 points off the bench. More coming up. We hear from the Mavs head coach right after this. 132-117 is the final. A tough loss for the Mavericks. Let's hear from their head coach now. Here's Jason Kidd.
Jason, in a game like this where you were pretty much hurt by Milwaukee getting to the free throw line and, of course, rebounds, I guess, which one of those two hurt the most, or was it just a combination?
Yeah, I think, which one hurt the most? Yeah, we got them to the free throw line there early in the first quarter or first half. Rebounding, I think it all hurt. You can add shooting. We didn't shoot the ball well. Had some good looks that just didn't go down for us tonight. So when you look at the fouling and the rebounding and shooting, those can hurt you, and that's what happened tonight.
Coach, you mentioned shooting. Was that something Milwaukee did specifically, or was it just an off night for you guys shooting the ball?
There's a couple guys that are not shooting the ball well right now, and that happens. And so we just have to continue to keep working out and take those shots when they present themselves. We shot 27% from three, so we're getting them. We got 40 up tonight, and just didn't make them when we had the opportunity.
You're happy with the looks you guys got?
Yeah, there's a lot of good looks that just didn't go down. And so just understanding that second quarter, they scored 40. And then to start the third, they had another 30-point quarter where we struggled. We came out flat. We missed some shots. And I think, when we look at ourselves right now, when we're not scoring, our energy drops. So we got to address that.
No. Just have to ask, but do you have any more info on PJ Washington?
Well, no. It was a statement. Soreness.
There is time to call.
That's all I have. Same thing you have.
So, Clay probably shot at the best tonight. Is there any reason or decision why he didn't get as much run in the third quarter?
We're trying to get stops. It's something, you got to figure out how to stop the leak. And, they're scoring and we're having trouble, stopping them. So we brought him and PJ out, and that's, PJ was done for the night. And so just looking at, our defense, we, guarding the 3-point line, we just did not do a good job tonight, and we have to be better.
With PJ hurting his ankle, obviously, at the beginning of the month, he played a few games. He missed one, and then he was questionable for tonight. In that LA game, was there a slight tweak, or is this kind of more of just injury management, or is this the same ankle sprain from the Houston game?
Those are a lot of questions I have no answers to. He left the game with the sore ankle. That's all I know.
Brian, you had something on one of Kid's comments.
So when I was working for the Mavs way back in the dark ages, I actually did this for a while, but they have coaches that still do this now. They chart every single play, offense and defense, and they judge if it's a successful possession or not. A successful possession on offense is you get an open look. It's not whether it goes in or not. It's whether it's an open look. The Mavericks are getting open looks, and they're not falling. To your point earlier, then you live with that because it was successful. You got the shot you wanted from the position you wanted, and it just didn't fall. They're okay with that. You're getting the shot you want. So whether the ball goes in or not, that's the variance of make or miss. I don't really buy into that either. Mm-hmm. But they're trying to get the best looks possible. And if they get those, then you live with the consequence.
It's a lot like baseball hitters. If you're not hitting the baseball, you don't change your swing. You swing the same way you're trained to swing because that's what you do. You don't change things up. A shot goes down or it doesn't. But if it's a good look, that's what a possession is all about.
Let's check in on other games tonight. We're certainly at that time of year where scoreboard watching really matters, and we are watching a couple of teams especially closely. And I'm looking at the bottom of the screen here because Sacramento, despite Sabonis leaving in the first minute with an injured hamstring, is able to come away with a win over the Houston Rockets. Golden State loses, and Quentin Grimes, the former Maverick, dropping 44 in that one. It's like he's doing his old team a solid by beating Golden State, and that is because the Mavericks, here they sit. The loss has them down to 10th here tonight. Sacramento's been, playing good basketball, and that is the next opponent as well. So that's very juicy.
It's going to give them a chance to flip that. But I think there's going to be moments every single night throughout the course of the NBA season when you have the difference between the 6 spot, the 10 spot is 1.5 games, 2 games. You're going to be flipping every single night. Unfortunately for the Mavs, they don't have a lot of tiebreakers.
No, and they don't have it with Sacramento either. And Valanciunas went off for 15 and 14. He is a great pickup for them at the deadline. And, oh, by the way, that game next Sunday against the Suns right here, huge to just put that separation in and guarantee you a play-in spot.
Well, I've loved doing the show with you, but I have to say I'm pretty excited about who the guest analyst is on Monday.
Oh, yeah?
Who's that?
You guys heard of Avery Johnson?
I have.
Wow.
How about that? Avery and his former player, Devin Harris.
He's going to ride Devin.
He knows more basketball than I've seen.
Yeah. Poor Devin.
Great. You guys were awesome, but that's going to be fun, and we want you to join us on Monday for that one. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great weekend.